Alright, hello guys, welcome to another video. My name is Toxic Pena. I help run the Zone Control CE Discord, and today we're going to be analyzing an hour-long replay. So, right now it's me and Tyler Ghost versus Ranma and Roz, Slayer and Mint, and Indigo and Invicta. So this early game was actually pretty annoying for me. I failed really hard in this early game. I want to try to see what exactly I did wrong here. I go for release center, just go for mid push and try to work with my diagonal to push one team out of middle. I try to go cut blue, help my ally out. I see he has a tank. I see he has a nuke. My ally has enough supply, so he should be fine anyway. So I'm trying to keep a split here. I see Pink going for the 2v2 against top right. So I go for a cheeky, just grab a few Marines from Pink here and then go for an engagement against green. I'm just trying to control middle, stay ahead. So here I see that they're going for a 2v2 against my ally, so I go for a really good, we get a really good concave here, and this should be a really quick and easy cleanup. Instead, I get my army nuked, which is annoying, so that sets me behind. So I'm just gonna fast forward this since I don't have anything I'm doing. Here, green steps in to attack me, and I should have loaded my bunkers here. I didn't think what I should do is I should get one capacity, load my units in a bunker. Instead, I didn't think he would actually stutter into this many units, which he did. So I kind of just lost all my units there. So now I'm solidly behind lane, both in score and in supply, which means that green is able to take engagements. I can see he's winning right now. He's taking engagement against other players, specifically top left. So I'm just forced to wait here until I have 30 supply, then I can go out. But I see green has more supply than me, so I cannot take this. So again, I'm just sitting in base. My ally comes, which is good, because then we can take a fight. But instead, light green comes, and we gotta back up, and my ally loses his supply because he engaged in the middle. So that's, again, sucks. That's tough. We get pressured a bit. I'm trying to keep my supply up. I don't want to lose my army, since if I lose my army, then I'm just gonna lose lane even hard. I'm already losing lane pretty badly as is. I try to go for a cut against green. I get a few marines here, and because I have equal supply, or I'm already maxed out in supply here, this should be a good engagement for me. So I have a decent split against green. What I should do here is I should move these units to the right and then attack move. The reason why is because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 units that are completely in the back, not doing anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Versus green who has 15 units not doing anything. If I were to split my units up to the right instead of ideally stutter like this in this direction towards units here, I would easily clean up this fight. Instead, because green has the upgrade advantage over me, he has 6 speeds, so his units arrive much quicker than mine. Even though they're close to my base, is the resupply advantage is not as high for me as it could be since he has 6 speed. He has 1 more attack, he also has 3 more range. So because of that, what looks like a good fight for me ends up being a loss. Because you can see my units are slowly filtering in one by one, and because he's better upgrades than me, he's slowly tries to take over the flanks here. And I'm forced to pull back. So that fight, if that fight, what you do is you pull these units here to the side, let the units filter in so you have more marines firing at once. You have numerical superiority because the upgrades don't matter if you have a numerical superiority. Instead, we had an even number of marines firing, or I had a little more, but his upgrade range made up for it, and he was able to slowly whittle me down since my units are filtering in very slowly compared to his. They're only reinforcing the center here. And he's able to take over the flanks because of it. So I lost that fight really bad, and now my lane is in first place. I'm in last place. This is about as bad as it could be right now. I got nuked first, I lost the fight, and my lane is in first place. This is about as bad as it could be early game. So I'm just thinking, okay, that's fine. I just need to keep my supply up. I don't want to take a fight against green until I have at least equal supply. Either that or a little less supply, but a really good split. So I'm just sitting back, want to keep my supply up. When I have enough, I go for a cut against green. And so here we catch green out in a good, decent engagement here. He's overextended. My ally is fighting him. My units are in a perfect position here. Light green is here, but he has no supply. What I should do here is grab this unit and move a move into light green while these units stutter around green. Instead, I wasn't paying attention to light green here. As you can see in my camera, I'm not looking at light green. So instead, I have these units attacking green while my other units are trying to split. And then I see, oh crap, light green has no supply. So that's again a huge missed opportunity. In this position, you want to split your army up. So again, just looking at this, I should be grabbing these units over here, a move in this direction, grab these units over here, or actually these units should be a moving, while these units should be going around over here, going for the full concave. Yeah, you can see here that's a perfect way to handle this. Instead, as you can see, my camera is in the wrong place. I'm not looking at both sides of the map, I'm only looking at one side, so I don't see the full picture here. So instead, I pull my army back because I'm afraid, because I don't know that light green has no supply, and I go for a split, and I realize, oh crap, light green has 0 supply. Either way, my ally gets a lot of feed from that, and we get a good fight against blue. So that's fine. And green has less supply than me now, so I pull back, trying to control middle. I see blue is coming in, and I see blue and green are coming in, but we have enough supply that it doesn't matter. So I go for a fight. So this is a bad fight by green. He has only 35 supply. I have max supply. So this is instant win fight by me. I keep this side of my army over on the top side while this army staying matching his army. And you can see that's what I do here. Light green comes in, but it doesn't matter because I have enough supply that it shouldn't matter. What I should do here is I should be in this position. I stutter to the side when I should be stuttering forward. Reason why is because when you stutter to the side, it's when you have even enough supply that if you were to stutter forward, you lose so much DPS that you lose the fight. Or they have more units clumped up than you do, so if you stutter right now, those units are firing. In this position, he only has 1 line of Marines. I have 3 that are not firing. Or I have 3 total. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, stuff like that. If I were to stutter in here, this fight is instantly over. Instead, I stutter to the side, and he gets away with so many free Marines that I could have had. So again, that's one more thing I screwed up in. I needed to be more aggressive with my stuttering forward. So again, I'm in last place. And here, if I look at the supply, we have basically equal supply, but he's fighting on my side of the map, and look at my split compared to his. I have way more Marines around his. And you can see I keep this unit, I keep my army split, I keep these units up, and then I stutter in there to cut his resupply up, and I pull my weak side back so you can see all these units are not firing. This is how you want to micro battle like this. Have your strong side, clean your resupply, stutter these units forward into their resupply, have the weak side micro back so that these units are not firing. Look how many units he doesn't have firing. And then I just A move, because I don't do anything else. And then I stutter into this army right here, and that's dead. So I take a good fight against green finally, but again, I'm still in last place, which is really bad for me. So I just beat my lane. I know that by diagonal did a good job. We just beat blue. So both our lanes have low supply. I'm in last place. My only thing I can do here is go Marauders. Reason why is because I need to do something drastic here to propel me and score forward. I'm in last place. I don't want to be in last place. I want to skyrocket forward and score. So I go Marauders. And since I see that top left is pressuring top right really hard, you can see their resupply over there. I know I can just keep bottom left weak. I see that top left also went for the router first. I hear a nuke going on. I know that's top right's nuke. And I get a really good... Actually, let me see what happened with that nuke. That was top right nuke, so I can get the bunker up. And if we see here, I get some free units from me because half an army got nuked. So my ally went for double expansion, but blue went for the cut here. What should we do is that since blue doesn't have a nuke, my ally goes straight down, I go straight down. That way, I scare him away from the bunker, my ally goes for the complete run so this army is entirely dead. Instead, my ally goes diagonally. Yeah, I ping him to go straight down. Instead, he goes diagonally. It should be fine anyway. It's still fine, but this could have been a lot better this could have been a lot better. Since he does have mercs now with combat shields. So I split my army up. I keep half my units here with my resupply going to over here. Reason why I do this, I keep half my units here since I don't need my entire army here. I only need half my army here. I don't even need this many. I can only need half of this many units to keep my ally's army alive. And since my resupply is going this way, that means my units are going to be already positioned to deal with blue since I know he's expanding, since I see the units here. So yeah, I have this unit stuttering here. And I have my other half of my army here. The reason I have my army here is that in case top left tries to cancel my rudder bunker, tries to do something, or if top right tries to cut me, I have something quick to respond with. So I already have units here to try to cut into top right. And because my units here, I get a really good scout off that light green is dying. And I still have that of my army coming too. So I pull back because I'm expecting a nuke onto top left here. There we go. I pull back at the last second, then I go in for the kill. And I have my SV here with a nuke just to secure, just in case. So yeah, really good. I have my resupply rally going where I want to go next, so that by the time I'm done with this side of the map, I have half my army already ready to go over here, which nets me a free bunker kill. And that propels me from last place all the way to 4th, which is really good. So far, this game went from as bad as it can be to now okay. In team score, we're in 1st place right now. So now I'm just trading as much as I can, just getting some free money, doing whatever. Yeah, just trying to get money for stim pack at this point. I have combat shields, I have 4 regen. Trying to get a bit more regen, I'm gonna go for stim pack. Okay. So in this fight, I also played this really well here. By abusing the Marauder slow, I can use it to gain huge concave, especially with how chunky Marauders are. Like here, I'm keeping my units constantly split so he can't take any good engagement against me. And as soon as he does, I pull the weak side back, so I get free shots on his weaker side while his stronger side is just sitting there doing nothing. And yeah, I'm keeping my army split. I pull these units back so that they're not attacking the bunker. And my ally comes in, which allows me to stutter in there and kill these 2 towers and the SCV for free, which is really good for me. I'm now in 3rd place solidly. I'm closing on the 2nd place too. So then I go and because that I was able to get my stim pack, which gives me the maneuverability to instantly cut blue and see what's going on there. I see no bunker expansion just yet. I see a nuke. That's Teal's nuke. And my ally wants to go ghost. He tells me in chat he wants to go ghost. So I build a shield tower in middle just in case. I cancel the shield tower because blue was pressuring it. And then I rebuild it once we push green out. Now we have control of middle, so now I can build the shield tower for him. So this fight, this is again what I did in the first good engagement. Same thing here. I see him stuttering towards this weak side, so I pull this side back, which has these Marines doing nothing since the units are pulled back here, which gives my strong side time to pressure his weak side, which again will me to fight even harder. And when he stutters into my left side, I pull these units back to get the mineral. I pull this flank back. Right now. Yep. And then when he starts into this side, I pull these units back. Start again. These units doing nothing. My army is fighting his army. And because of the rotor slow, this makes this micro 100 times more effective. This 10 times more effective, this rotor slow. Because it can't do anything about this. This is how you abuse rotor slow to its full extent, by pulling back your weak sides so that they're forced to just so that they are losing so much DPS from the units trying to chase your weak side. And because of that, I'm now in first place, Rotter's first, solidly ahead with 7 range to my name, compared, to Pink's 2 and his 3. So my ally goes from Rotter's. He pings to defend against Pink. Pink sees Marauder, so does Green. So this Ghost Bunkers are going to get cancelled, unfortunately. There's nothing I can really do about that. We are going to get a ton of feed from this, and it is going to cause a temporary 4v2 onto us. I load my bunker, put a shield tower on the outskirts. Again, trying to get as much feed as I possibly can. Since they're focusing the bunker here, I can have my units ahead. Just try to feed off Pink's Reapers here. He cancels the bunker, which sucks. And now we're just defending a 4v2 at this point. So there's not much to it. I try to stay behind. I'm trading a bit too much for my personal liking. Especially because in a 4v2 like this, if they dive into you, if you don't have enough supply, then you're basically screwed. So I'm just trying to trade behind my bunkers here, getting good fights against Green, get a shield tower and a sentry tower up. Unfortunately, my ally also built a sentry tower, so it's a bit of a waste, but it's fine. We get extra vision over here, and we get extra vision over here, so it's fine, I guess. It doesn't really matter, but it's still just a little bit inefficient. I guess he saw my tower was me finished, so he tried to put his own, so it's fine. I built my own shield tower in the water square so that I get more coverage. I don't build it here, because I'm fighting over here more often than I am, and I don't want to waste money putting a shield tower over there that I could be building, that I could be using for upgrading stuff. So here, thanks to the sensor tower, I saw that Green was pushing my army, and I saw that Pinks are moving away, so I go for a really nasty split here against Green, effectively killing his entire army here. What I should do is I should grab these units here and just go for the full stuttering for the full surround, so he has zero escape plan. Instead, he just can't do anything because, again, Rod is slow is OP as hell, so he just loses his entire army. And I see Pinks are coming back, so I put my army. If he This nuke was a bit of a mistake. I didn't realize his bunker was at half health, so that's my bad. But you just need to throw a turret here. I come in for this round, kill the Rotters. Instead, he tries to kill the Marine bunker, fails to, and I come in and we clean up the stragglers. Unfortunately, we don't. I missed a mineral there by accident, and I go for the Marine bunker. The best way to get the bunker up is to keep the enemy aggro towards middle, towards or to be aggressive enough that they cannot push into you, which is what I'm doing here. Green is keeping the aggro towards middle, so he's not pushing towards my marine bunkers. So unfortunately, I am forced to pull back my army behind my bunker here because I'm getting double teamed. And if we look in the vision, Green does barely see my bunker is expanding. So my plan did fail, but I'm able to push him back. And he decides to go back in the middle. So I ended up getting the bunker up with no real hassle. I bought a depot immediately afterwards. I need that extra supply. I just need the extra supply so I can save max out more often. I kill half of Green's army, then I pull back, beat my SV off the depot. Unfortunately, it's not enough. He's able to kill the bunker, which sucks. My SV was too late to the party. So I just pull back, and I built my depots anyway, mark my bunker. I get 4 region 2 armor. So my ally lost his marine bunker. That's fine. I'm going to build my own bunker there later in the future. I get my mark up, and I finish my depots up. So at this point, I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking what's gonna happen with the rest of this game. So I see that blue is on one bunker and green is still doing pretty fine for himself. So my thinking is we're not dead. At most, they're gonna bring us onto one bunker each, or they're gonna kill one of us. But we're not dead. We are still 100% in this game. The reason why is because if they finish us, then top left just wins the game. I'm assuming that blue's gonna die this game because it's on one bunker. So either blue's gonna die or green's gonna die. One of them is going to die most likely. And I'm not gonna let them kill green because he is the second strongest player. And I need him to be healthy to eventually switch on the top left when we get forward tuned enough and we lose shit. Since I know that top left is probably Roz, since he is the Master Reaper, so he's probably gonna be pushing tanks pretty soon onto us. So yeah, there's that. So I want to have green since he seems to be the more competent player of the two, especially since blue was on one bunker, which is bad. So yeah, at this point I'm just pushing now, trying to get some money, trying to spam range. My favorite thing to do is just spam range because if you look at the upgrades here, you can see that light pink is staying on low range, so is green. So I have a 8 range advantage over light pink, and I have a 6 range advantage over green here. So this just lets when I'm just moving my army, it is incredibly efficient compared to everybody else. So it's my personally favorite way to get a lot of feed, especially because when they're running away, I get more shots off since they leave their range of attack, but they haven't left my range of attack. So I get a couple more shots off, which gives me a few more units of feed when you're running away, especially with the Rotter slow on top of that. So here, I just weakened Light Pink's armor, so I'm trying to cancel this green bunker, but unfortunately I'm forced to pull back because Dark Pink was over here. I see that yellow has his tank up, so turns out to be fine, but then Light Pink has his army back up again, which means that green gets its Rotter bunker up. So instead, I'm gonna merc the back depot. I'm merc the back depot because this depot is vulnerable. You wanna go with the safest depot first, which is this one. So yeah, at this point, just standard 4v2 nonsense. This was this wasn't very good from us. We, especially from me, I should not have stuttered into this with my army when I have high range, but I don't have high attack and armor. So my units are not very good when I'm stuttering into mid vision like that. And also my ally is Mass Reaper, so it doesn't make so it's not so it's just feeding like pink more than it's feeding me. And green comes in and collapses onto us, so just a bad play. Bad play. It's gonna be fine though. They haven't pushed a tank just yet onto us, so it's fine for now. And right now I'm just A moving, feeding as much as I can, getting more upgrades. I'm building my bunker there now. Since yellow has a tank here, ideally I should have built a bunker here so that this could be the tank spot, but two reasons. One, I'm concerned of Pink's Mass Reapers killing this bunker while it's still being built or while it's still being merked. It's just a very vulnerable position, especially since my ally is not strong enough to hold against both of them. And two, because there's a shield tower here, we cannot build tanks here anyway. So it's just the only way we can use the space is by building a bunker by depots, and I'm not building depots there just yet. And I'm not building depots there, period. Because in my opinion, I need to resupply more, and I already have the 2 depots that are gonna be merged soon. So I put the bunker there. It's much safer, safest spot for a bunker, and my ally is gonna try to build tanks in another spot here. So yep, just standard 4v2 nonsense. We have double sensors so we can see what's going on. We see that blue has finally died, which I'm thinking, cool. Now we are basically safe. Either we hold and we snowball, unlikely, especially since light top has nukes, or we get weakened, we get crippled, green switches, and we go from there into a normal standard 3-way. That's gonna last anywhere from 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, you know? So at this point, I'm pretty happy about that. getting any wild card, wild unaccounted, getting any variability that is not accounted for out of the game is really good, especially so that it brings back to just a standard standard 3-way 4v2. I get some capacity. One, because in the event I get nuked, I have 12 units here, or I have 14 units here, sorry, 7 in each bunker, so that I still have a lot of DPS while I get my resupply up. And two, because it's just if I have to leave to help my ally, I still have 14 units here to deal damage, and also because rather than here, when the units are, they're not all firing at once, these 17 units all have the same range, so this bunker is producing 17 units DPS all at once. Um, a minor improvement that I could be doing is I could be putting one Marauder in each bunker. That way I'm applying the slow automatically. Just a little bit more efficient. But more deep Marines does mean more DPS. So it's just a very, very minor thing. That's something I like to mess around with, is putting a single Marauder in the bunkers to provide that slow. But as it is right now, I just have a set of DPS right now. So then yeah, again I go for the same thing. I try to stutter into middle when my attack and armor are not overwhelmingly enough as my range is. So when you're playing a mass range strategy like this, you can't just stutter into middle unless your army either A has a ton more supply, or B just has or B their army is just weak, pitiful compared to yours. And my armor was dangerous, so I ended up just feeding them a bunch of money and taking an even engagement, which is I end up taking an even engagement, which is awful for me. So instead of just a move again, feeding against screen here with my mass range, Lightning stutters to my arm, stutters tries to tank, gets punished for it. So I go in the middle, weaken his army a bit more. I see the middle there, but I assume green has already taken it, which he has. So I see that they have a nuke still, and I see that they have a second Marauder building. And I'm thinking, alright, cool. I'm probably not going to hold this 4v2, but I at least know that green has to switch. If he doesn't, the game ends, but it's a gamble I have to take. I have to assume that green will switch out of us eventually. So I see my ally wants to build another tank, so he's building the depot, the supply depot. So I build a shield tower here so that I can have my army more up front with being completely safe, and I can help defend the depot a bit more. Just, yeah, you can see there. So my ally upgrades the depot. I've moved my SCV down to pre-turret. I get, if you see, over here, I got turret time really quickly just a few minutes ago, specifically so that I can throw a turret here, like this, and be done with it. Unfortunately, I threw the turret far too forward, and Peak immediately kills it, which is annoying. I saw that. But I do throw a second turret there. Yeah. And Pink doesn't realize we're building a tank there just yet. So now I see a tank is in there. So first, I wait for my ally to commit. Then I nuke. If you see the nuke, I nuked just off the vision. The reason why I nuke specifically here is because if I nuke in vision, there is a very good possibility my SCV will move into the range of the units and get killed. By nuking here, I guarantee my SCV is out of range, and we'll see if we get the nuke off. Also, I nuke here because Light Pink's army is here on top of the bunker. Dark Pink's army is a bit too far to the side, and my ally is providing a really good meat bag middle ground here. So what will play out is I stutter in here. My ally provides a meat bag here to defend against Dark Pink, while I get the tank. Unfortunately, my army dies here. What I should have done is taken half these units, have them over here, so that when I get nuked, the rest of my army comes in and tries to kill them. But light pink already has its units up here ready to defend mid division, so we just trade nukes, which is perfectly fine by me. Getting the nukes off the map reduces the variability of this game, which I'm perfectly happy with. Now, we are about to die here. We're getting crippled. I lost 2 bunkers here, so it's bad. I'm throwing turrets, but the bunker is going to die anyway. And I'm thinking, cool. Green is going to have to switch soon. He's going to kill the bunker, but he should have to switch. Now, my ally ends up leaving the game, which is really good. Because green sees my ally switched, so he instantly switches. Or, like, he doesn't instantly switch just yet, but he is going to switch eventually when he realizes my ally did leave. I cancel the to get some more money back right now. Yep. And I load my bunker up. And I'm back on 2 bunkers. I'm going to keep this one retired since I don't want Reapers. I do not want Reapers at this point, but I wanted just Marines Marauders at this point. I'm going to keep this as basically a depot, basically. I see green leaving my side. And one thing is that rather than throw turrets on this side, I know that green is the one that has to switch. I know that top left one is going to win a game if they kill me too much. So I throw my turrets here. And so I throw my turrets here for 1, to protect against top left so they don't do any more damage against me. And 2, to protect my bunker so that I can actually merc so I have a good shield here. Now, they do switch, and I immediately build out again, just rebuilding, building on the bottom left side, because I don't want green to snipe. I don't want a green snipe that, and it feels a lot more safer that way. I probably should have built on this side since I already had the depot here just to help protect that depot, but oh well, I guess. Here we go on the top left. If you notice on the minimap, if you saw the pink dot here, turns out that was his tank. I thought it was an SCV, so I didn't bother looking into it. Instead, it was a tank that he unintentionally threw away. So that is really bad for me. And Ross does a really good job here of keeping me away from the vision of the tank. Because if we look here, while he's keeping me over here, keeping me towards mid vision with his army, his tank is moving down to the right side. So, just, that's a missed opportunity for me. Watching the replay back, it kind of sucks, but nothing you can really do about that. So instead I'm just going to rebuild my bunker, rebuild my 3x3 base. And right now I'm just focusing on rebuilding, that's all I want to do. I'm rebuilding and I'm getting upgrades since my attack and armor are a little lacking. Green switches on me, kills that depot turret. I'm gonna let him take that because I'm trying to play for a 1v1 against green at the moment. That's what I want to do since we're both 1 players and I lost some stuff. So I'm gonna build a sensor. I'm gonna build a sensor over here. I'll build the sensor first and then a bunker. The reason why I build sensor first over here is because I'm a little worried about green. He seems a bit erratic in that he keeps switching on me. So I want the sensor so I get an extra like 2 seconds, like an extra second and a half of vision for seeing his stuff. And also I see that he built a bunker over here, so I get some vision of the rally over here, which is good. Ideally, the best spot to place the sensor is right here. That way I get vision of this bunker's rally as well, so I can see both of the rallies here. So instead, I just see that bunker's rally, and I can see where he's going. The reason why I really like to do this is you can basically tell what's going on in the game based on the rally. If rally's going this way, if rally's going this way, then you know he's defending something, or he's going for a sniper, defending against tanks or something. If rally's going this way, you know he's going for middle. It just gives you a really rough idea of what's going on based on how you can piece it all together. So green switches on me because he forced out the nuke from light pink, and we killed his second marauder bunker. So unfortunately, I murked the bunker, but I am going to get refunded it. As you can see here, you get refunded for the bunker if it dies before it finishes murking. So I get 75% of the 500 back, so 375. And I'm going to let, again, I'm playing for the 1v1 here, so I'm going to let green take that bunker since, you know, I still have trust in his, intuition and everything. I'm going to let him kill that bunker too, since These two bunkers are effectively free. That's not really that taxing on my score. My score is still relatively accurate. So far, I've just lost a bunker here, two bunkers from this spot, and two depots. That's pretty much it so far. So, my score is not as inflated as it could be. And I still have this free bunker over here. So, letting him kill that is fine. Let's build depots there instead, or build tanks there. I am going to defend this though. This is a bit greedy of him to push that. So I throw a turret. It says fair enough. Backs up. It's going to switch on the top left. Get a good mineral over there. And now I'm going to instantly rebuild since green is switching back on the top left. And I queue up bunker into depots. I scratch that. And I build sensor first. Then bunker. Then depots. The reason why I go this is because I want sensor up first, because sensor give me vision up to here and up to here. So, and it also gives you vision up to here. So it's the most efficient, it's the second most efficient spot for a sensor tower. The most efficient spot is right here, but you want to reserve this spot for the shield towers, since that's the most efficient spot for the shield towers when you're being aggressive in middle. So instead of that, I love the bit of sensors over here. Just very safe. They don't get sniped that often here, and it just gives you plenty of vision here, so you don't have to waste money on two sensors on either side. Which even if they give you ultimately more coverage, you are spending another 100 minerals, which could be spent to upgrades or whatever buildings or whatever. And then I go for bunker first for the defensive purposes, to provide a bulwark. Then I go depots afterwards, which is, in my opinion, the best way to go is a sensor, bunker, depots. Then you go shield towers or whatever. So now I waited 2 seconds and I go in the middle and I see that the bunker has died. And I'm going to be hitting top left here. So I want to scout a bit to see how big green is, because I do still want to go for the 1v1 here against green. I see that he has 20 armor here, but I do have more range. So I am going to start rebuilding my 3x3 square. I'm going to wait for that to finish up. Yeah. As we finish the bunker here, now it's going to go over the sensor, then the bunker, then the depots. And I am going to start scouting green in the meantime, see how big he actually is, see whether or not I can actually take him in a 1v1 fight. And I see how big he is, I think, yeah, I can take that. I can definitely take green. With my range advantage, no tanks, no second SCV, I can take him in a 1v1. I'm confident in my abilities, so I just need to build, I just delay for a second just to build out my second row. If I can just rebuild this stuff, then build these two bunkers and the depots right here, I can definitely take them, because then it'll be even on bunkers. And I have better upgrades in him. So that's what my plan, that's what my game plan is for now. Just play for the 1v1 against green. Yep. Instead, green decides to go for a switcher, which is bugs me a little bit. Doesn't make much sense to me. So I don't bother murking that bunker since I accept this probably since I need to load it first. Instead, top right hits green. So green went to hit me, and top right hit green, or top left hit green. So now I think if you're gonna hit me, even though I'm this weak, you obviously don't care that much for the 1v1. So I'm gonna make sure you lose some shit. So I'm gonna kill one bunker here, and I know he probably loses this bunker. Reason why is because it's a little bug in StarCraft. You can see the towers dying. You saw the particle effects. You can see the towers dying, and it shows you the little blinking lights over here that you see there. So I know that he lost a bunker here, which he did. So that's just game sense there. Just I know that he lost a bunker here, and I know he lost a bunker there. So I still want to play for the 1v1 against him, but since he lost the bunkers, I'm not entirely sure now. And pink is coming. I try to pull back just to be wary of him. Let's see where he's going. Try to match his movements. I'm going to try to feed off him. I'm playing around the tank here. I using stop position or hold position, whatever I was doing here. I try to trade with this army itself since Merc Marines give 20 per kill, so I'm going to get tons of money. Instead, he doesn't trade with me that much. Instead, he just backs up, moves the second tank over to, cover the spot so I can't do anything anymore. So I'm gonna get that mineral, split my army in half to get the mineral, and I'm gonna play towards top side here, try to see what I can do top side. So I don't wanna play against a tank since I cannot push them, and I don't wanna feed pink more than I have to. So I'm gonna play more towards top side, see if I can get anything done, see if I can get any good trades done or anything at all. Yep. And I see pink is coming towards me, so I immediately disengage from green. And when I see pink pull away, I go hard left. I don't I don't go diagonally. I go hard to the left. And you can see why, because he doesn't have anywhere to go. By the time he gets away, I'm already there, and I'm just his army's completely dead. And if we look at the money that I gained from that, I gained about 1,000 minerals. So we see here, I starting at 200 and I end at 1,300. So 1,000, so 1.1 thousand minerals I got from that. And because of that, pink led me to like pink's building bunker, which when I cancel it, he dies. Green was killing pink while this was happening. So now we're at the point where I we need to decide, are we going for the 1v1? I want it to happen since I've lost enough that I feel like it's even enough for us. He's rebuilt that bunker. I also have the mineral over here that I could be getting, but I don't see it, so that's a rip. And I want to let Green know that I do want to take this with him, so I'm going to grab a single marine in a second here, and I'm going to wiggle it in front of him. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a single marine. I'm gonna wiggle it back and forth. I don't know. Hey, I want to take this. He's taking a second marauder bunker, so I'm gonna let him take that. I see that it's going to hit pink, so no, I'm gonna go hit pink. I'm gonna go dive this tank. Turns out pink split his army up, so I'm not gonna be able to get that. So I need to pull back, and so I'm gonna build my second marauder bunker since I see that green is building his second marauder. Keep things even between the two of us. And when green goes to hit me, I am going to do something where I'm going to do something that's just very mind gamey. When I see that I am winning this fight a bit too aggressively, I'm going to double stem my units intentionally here. Right here. I double stem them straight to red and orange. The reason why I do this is because I want green to believe that he is stronger than my army. I want him to have a false sense of superiority over my army so that he thinks he's strong enough to take me in a 1v1, even with the better upgrades. However, he sees right through this mind game, this little deception tactic, and just goes straight for the cancel Neurotic bunker, which I'm thinking, fair. Go ahead. It was a bit greedy of me to do that. But it's also a bit greedy for you to cancel that, but it's whatever. So I throw a turret, I end up just canceling it, and now I'm thinking, alright, cool. Are we still going for this? Are you gonna leave? He's not leaving. Oh shit. He isn't leaving me alone. So I'm a little annoyed. So at this point, I'm thinking, alright, screw green. This 1v1 is not gonna happen, so I'm gonna let pink take this. I'm gonna let pink know, hey, I wanna work with you, so I'm gonna unload my bunker, wiggle these units so you know what I'm doing. Which he sees it. And I'm gonna let him take what he wants. I'm gonna defend against green here, since if he's not gonna take this fight, if he's not, I gave him I gave Greed two chances to 1v1. First one was when he had like almost double my bunker count and more depots than me, and the second one was when I lost a lot of stuff like a few minutes ago. And that was the second offer. I tried double simming to show him to try to get him to convince him that my armor was weaker, but didn't work. So he decided to keep hitting me. So instead, I've decided that I'm not taking a 1v1 against green. I'm just gonna play the switch game, gonna prolong this game, gonna let this game last for 20 more minutes and just see where it goes from there. And now, after this, I need to come up with a new game plan because originally my game plan was to take the 1v1 against green, but that didn't work out. So, oh well. So here, this is really good. So, I have 11 regen, 5 bunker armor. So since green has more supply than me, if he stutters in, he's gonna beat my army up. So I pull my units behind the bunker here, and I just let him focus the bunker. My army is dealing so much damage. And as soon as our supplies are about, even if bunker's about half health, I stutter in here, and I force him back, and I can just get so much money out of this. Yeah, look at that. And now I'm back to hitting green. Pull the units back. Now I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about my game plan for this game. Since green refused the 1v1, um, and pink is weak and so weak that he's gonna be playing third wheel by switching back and forth. This this is gonna be a game where I'm gonna get switched on multiple times. So look at my upgrades now: 21, 20, 17, 12, 12. I am not gonna get more than that, except for the 18 range. I'm not gonna get more than that for the next while. The reason why is because I cannot expand past this point since pink is weak as hell. Green refused the 1v1 multiple times, so that's not gonna happen. And I am first place in score. If I expand past this point, like expanding towards here or expanding towards here, I'm just gonna get double teamed on, and I'm probably gonna lose all that stuff again and again. So my only way to winning this game, or at least my only build path from here, is to rebuild this 3x3 base, stay in this 3x3 base, and just go for tanks. That's it. Nothing else but tanks. I don't want to get upgrades because I have better upgrades than everybody else. I want the upgrades to even out intentionally so that I seem like so that I my so that they're more willing to take an even 1v1 against me, or take an end game against me by finishing off a player so the game can end soon. And also, so the money that's meant for upgrades is gonna be going into tank production. I have an upgrade lead. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna just keep the upgrades stagnant. It's gonna take a while for them to get up to the upgrades. So I'm gonna just keep building tanks and go from there. So therefore, my plan in this game is to just continue building tanks. That's the only thing I can do in this situation here. Can't build out, can't get upgrades, because then that makes me seem too strong. So I get tanks. Rebuild my 3x3 square, and that's it. And you will see here that I pretty much stopped spending upgrades entirely for the past like 5-10 minutes here. I haven't gotten a single upgrade, except for maybe structure upgrades. So yeah. So yeah, at this point we're just between green here. I get switched on by pink. At this point, this is a little frustrating for me. I don't understand why they switched off of green. Reason why is because they killed half the space. But it's still annoying for me personally. So I'm just gonna try to get as much money as I can here. Try to defend both sides if I can. I see that green decides to switch on the pink. So I'm gonna rebuild again, rebuild my towers, and rebuild my depots. So I go in the middle here, and you saw that I stopped for like 2 seconds. Reason why is because I was thinking, green hit pink. Do I want to hit pink too? Do I want to take advantage of the opportunity that green gave me by hitting pink so we can peak even further? So when I check his upgrades, I see he has 8, 9, 19, 9, 9, 19, 8, which is complete trash. And all he has is the 2 router bunkers. So I'm thinking, cool, he is incredibly weak. I need to hit green here. So I kill green's bunker. Turns out he was diving pink's bunker, and because of this, Roz was able to get a fantastic engagement and kill green's entire army here. And I get the bunker basically for free. So I use that money to rebuild again, more depots, more towers. And I tried at this point. It's been so long since I've last scouted that I am working on outdated information here. So I tried to scout to see what the hell is going on, if pink still has all his tanks up or whatever. But instead green hit me and I forgot about scouting. So I went back to hitting green. And also, I pretty much have a rough idea of how strong pink is exactly, since I saw green's resupply was going through over here. So I basically know the extent of Pink's space. I know he has at most this bunker, and I know that he has at most up to here, which, yeah, he doesn't have more than this. So my information for Pink is still correct. It's just my information for Green is still very much outdated. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna rebuild everything. I'm gonna build shield towers in every square. I'm gonna put a sensor here so I can see further into this square, so I get an extra second of forewarning against pink sniping me or pink pushing tanks on me, just so I know more about what's going on. And again, I'm gonna hit pink. I'm gonna hit green because green is the stronger player of the two. And if I weaken pink too much, then green probably just wins the game. Unless I want to go for 1v1. But at this point, I've basically given up on going for a 1v1 against green. I don't want to. I'm playing for pink, ideally, since I've lost so much. So I'm building my own tanks. Again, no upgrades, just tanks. This was a bit greedy for me. This was really greedy for me. Since mentally, personally, while playing this game, I've already established that pink is Roz. Reason why is because Roz went Mass Reapers early in this kind of lobby. Either Roz, Rama, or Slater would do that. And since he went Mass Reapers into tanks, that eliminates half this lobby. Second thing he did was that Roz likes to prioritize supply and tanks over upgrades. Upgrades are usually the last thing on his priority list, which pretty much easily singles out him as pink. And I know that Roz takes things like perceived greed very personally and seriously. So, when I snipe this depot here, this triggers him to step back and go back and start thinking and start debating whether or not he wants to hit him. And I realized almost immediately, oh crap, I just tilted Roz. I just pissed him off. He's probably gonna switch on me now. Because usually small things like that are the catalyst for switches. So I'm thinking, oh god, I'm gonna get switched on again, and I'm gonna lose my shit again. He's gonna tank push me again. So I see him in the middle, and I decide to I give him back the cost of the pay. I give him back the money gained from the depot, trying to tell him, hey man, I want to work with you. Please don't hit me again. Yep, and he's just sitting in middle. I decided to trade against green for the time being, and I see that, oh no, he's hitting me. So, I load my bunkers, I have my army ready, my tank is building. I try one last time to do, hey, I want to work with you, let me recoup you the cost of your depots. And just for those of you got just for information, this is a pub lobby. In private lobbies, intentional feeding is not allowed. I personally take that seriously. I do not like intentional feeding in private lobbies, but this is a pub lobby, so I'm not very worried about it, especially since it's my easiest way to let him know I want to work with him. So I load my bunkers. I'm trying to defend both sides, get some money out of it at least so I can save the money. My tank is done. I'm going to put this tank on the top right side. The reason why is because green is the weaker player of the two. He has significantly less supply. That means I can have the tank here, throw turrets here, and this side will be completely defended. So that my army is free to feed off of Roz's and get just tons of money. As you can see, like all those mineral pop-ups. So yep. I bring my tank over to the top right side while green backs away, and I start another tank. So now I'm pretty safe. Now I don't really have much threats. Green is forced to push through middle to my Marauder bunker, which I can easily defend my army. So I'm looking at the mini map and I see tanks. So the reason why I know that those units are tanks is because of the spacing of the units. You see the units moving around the tanks and you see them derping out. This is the easiest way to tell when they're pushing tanks on you, because the pathing can be a little bit buggy sometimes, and also the unit spacing tells you where they are since their models are so huge, especially when they're clumped up together like this. So yeah, I can tell you that this, and that are tanks. Yep, that one is a rocket bunker. So, oh well. So I know I'm basically screwed. I cannot do anything. I cannot push into those tanks either. So I try to go first around, see if I can get anything done. I cannot get anything done. So I back up. I surrender the bunker. I cannot do anything to that bunker. To defend a bunker because he has 5 splash tanks. I know he has splash because you can see the fire effects on the outskirts of my units. So I cannot do shit. If I try to defend the base, I'm only gonna feed him more money than it's worth. So the only thing I can do is just keep my supply high, try to feed off Greenfield to get some money to rebuild later on, and just give up the rest of my base. Give up my Marauder bunker and give up my Marine bunker. I'm gonna bring my tanks back to my second bunker here, and I've mentally given up these 2 bunkers. I'm mentally giving them up because I cannot defend these 2 bunkers. I am assuming they're dead bunkers here. That's what I'm assuming here. They're dead bunkers. So, yep, that bunker's dead. I should have unloaded that bunker to get more Marines out of there. Instead, only 3 Marines got out, and that bunker is dead. I should have unloaded this one as well to get those units out of there, but it's fine. And I pull my tanks back in a second here to a more defensible position. Right here. And real quick, unintentionally, I've just created an absolutely amazing position here. If they were to dive me, all I need to do is throw 1 turret right here. And this entire area is completely inaccessible to the units. My units can sit back here and stop position and just get so much free feed out of this. Get a couple more, get like 2 more capacity, so I can get more units in here so that they're firing on the outskirts of it. And I can just easily get so much free money. They cannot dive this area. Instead, I do a major mishap. Green pulls back. I see him pulling back over here. I make the wrong assumption that he's switching on pink since pink does have 5 tanks. So that's a wrong assumption by me. So I try to build a center to see where the hell green is. I see pink is pulling up, so I'm thinking, alright, why is pink pulling back here? Is he switching? Is green switching? I see green's army in middle. And I realize, oh no, what the hell's going on? So when I see that the armies are like this, what I should have done is pull my army right here, throw a turret right here or right here. Actually, ideally throw a turret here so that it provides a little bit more buffer to fuck with the unit pathing. And then have some units spilling out here to deal more damage to the units over here. And just have the units over here just doing whatever. Instead, I lose the 65 supply I had from the depots that I lost. I lose those, and then I trade with pink unnecessarily, and then I bring my units back. I right click my units into the bunker instead of A moving. Yeah, I right click my units into the bunker. I throw a turret behind. So this is basically handled as badly as I possibly could have handled it here. So, like, look at these units. Look at how much value they're getting from me by killing all of pink's units. Like, look at this. Look at these rotters dying. Imagine if I had 20 more units over here killing all of green's units too. Or if I had 3 more units in this bunker. Imagine the value I could have been getting, or if I had a turret over here instead, you know? Just a very small thing that I did that made a huge misplay. And if you're ever in a situation too, and it's incredibly good defense position. It's just 2 tanks here, turret here or here, army here. That's just incredibly good position that I did not realize the potential of until after I lost those tanks. Actually, until after I looked at this replay, which is why you want to look at the replays to see things you missed like this. So green kills those tanks and he switches. I assume he has to switch. He killed the tank. So yeah, I build the bunker up and I sit back for like a minute, just waiting, seeing, are they gonna switch on me back again? So sitting here for now, doing nothing. Gonna fast forward a bit. I'm also waiting to see how the fight is going and to see who's winning the fight here. From my perspective, green has 5 marine bunkers, so if he gets tank pushed, he'll be fine for a little bit. He has so many bunkers and he has a marauder bunker here because there's some marauders in his army, so he'll be fine if he gets tank pushed. I can wait a minute and be perfectly fine. Plus I want to see what the hell's going on. So I scout and I see that green is pushing and I'm thinking, cool. I want pink to lose some shit because Roz has the highest supply out of everybody else. So I'm going to rebuild. My bunker's going to finish. Going to censor here. Efficient spot. Like I said before, it's a very efficient spot. I'm going to build depots. Since this is a defensible position for the depots, I'm going to long roll my bunkers. And now I'm going to focus on Roz. I want Roz to lose some shit. I want Roz to lose at least the 2 marauder bunkers. And then we're going to go from there. That's my game plan at the moment. Just because I see how much supply he has, I want him to lose at least those marauder bunkers. So yep, I'm going to keep rebuilding. Oh yeah. I canceled these depots because I had a brief panic moment where I thought Green was going to switch on me again. Put my SV back ready to throw turrets, but he didn't, so I just rebuilt those depots. Yep, rebuild the depot. Want a second martyr to die. I'm gonna dive on it. I lose part of my army. I should have backed off right here to conserve my supply. So I lose too much supply trying to go to bunker, so green gets a kill. Which is okay, I guess. And now at this point, I'm thinking, I think I should switch onto green. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Since I know Roz as a player likes going for more depots than bunkers, and I know he has 2 Reaper bunkers. His army isn't. Since he lost the Marauder bunkers, his army is not very good, nor is it efficient. So if I weaken him too much, then green can just snowball since I'm not ready yet to actually fight him. So instead, I'm gonna switch off of green for the time being. And I'm thinking and I'm trying to see what I want to see is how well Roz's army does versus Green's army. I get that mineral. It's really good. Once I see how well Roz's army does, then I can make a more accurate depiction or a more accurate decision on whether I want to hit him or not. So I'm trying to scout. What I'm scouting here is I'm scouting specifically here, not here, because I want to see if he has tanks here, and if he does, how many tanks does he have? Seeing a bunker was a side thing that wasn't really important to me. I just wanted to see how many tanks he had. I see he has 5 tanks still, so. And I see that his army is pushing against greens. So now I'm pretty confident that, yeah, I should be hitting Roz more. He can afford to lose more stuff. So I switch on to Roz. And I'm going to try to rebuild more stuff. And again, keep in mind, I have not gotten any upgrades for the past 10 minutes. I've been spending so much money on rebuilding my depots and my bunkers in just this 3x3 space that I have not even had to spare money to get upgrades. So at this point, Roz has caught up to me in upgrades in attack and range. He's starting to catch up in armor. And Green actually has better upgrades than me. And since I'm constantly looking at the upgrades, I'm thinking, oh god, I've fallen behind now. And it's the worst position to be in is when you're first place in score and you're falling behind in upgrades and you're falling behind in supply. That's the worst place to be in. Just generally, because they're gonna focus you since you're a top scorer and you can't do shit because you're falling behind in upgrades. So eventually, I'm gonna realize I need to start getting upgrades again. But also, I need to rebuild since that's more important. My upgrades are still competitive with Raws, and they're still competitive with Green, which is what's important here. I need to rebuild my supply. I need to rebuild my tank count, since that's what's ultimately going to win me the game here. So I cut Raws. I get a good fight here. I back off, since I don't want to get my army killed by Green, and I rebuild the bunker and rebuild the depots. So now I'm back up to full strength. And again, I'm staying here because the tanks are there. So, yeah. And I see that Roz is losing that bunker. And again, I know that Roz does not have much. He's a town player who builds more depots and bunkers. So now I know, cool, I can safely switch on the green. Roz has lost enough for my taste. But I do want to scout to see how far green has expanded. And that scout lets me see that he dropped an SV. He dropped the ACV in the face of my scout, which was a very bad play. Very bad play. Since now that tells me for sure I want to fight green, 100% switching on green. So I'm still gonna do my thing, still gonna build, and this part is when I get tilted, is because looking at the score, green is leagues ahead of me in score. Just his upgrades are better, more supply, more everything. I have probably 10k, 20k less score than I actually have, just because I've been spending so much money on rebuilding my 3x3 base. Not even including those two tanks I built. So green is top score right now, and I'm probably closer to Ross at the moment in score. Instead, they're gonna switch on me, which is annoying, even though I did not see Ross do any damage to green, so at this point, I'm starting to get tilted here. I'm thinking, what the hell? I remember what I was thinking. I was thinking, since I know who Ross is, I know he has 5 tanks. I know that if green finishes me, he's probably going to die to Ross, since Ross knows how to play the tanks late game and he has the supply and everything. He just knows how to play that style very well. So I'm thinking that green is throwing this game. That's what I'm thinking. If he kills me, he's gonna throw, because I'm assuming that Roz is experienced enough with this playstyle that he's gonna stomp roll over green with his 5 tanks. So yeah. So right now I'm just defending. I'm getting a couple upgrades now. You saw I got 2 more range. And now I see that Roz is expanding towards me, which is annoying. Very annoying. Since that kind of cuts off any avenue I have for expansions, which I wasn't even going to do anyway. So since I see that Ross expanding is right about, I know that means that he can lose some shit on the top side, since he does bunkers there. Or at least I assume he has bunkers there. I just assume he has so much supply that he can afford to lose to, which is why I'm hitting him in the first place. I want Ross to be weak. I don't want him to be strong. If he's strong, he just has so much supply he can just win the game with his tanks. So, yeah. This is a very minor thing, but one thing I like to do is when I have a mineral next to my base, if I scout it, I like to have the rally set to the mineral, not my army. Even though it's probably quicker to use my army, it's just something that I want to try to get good at doing and get used at, so that I don't have to worry about spending my army or just use my rally and that's the end of it, you know? Just a very minor thing I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to improve on. So, tanks are there. I see that green is killing that bunker. I don't get the kill, which sucks. And, yeah. I want Roz to take a bit more damage at this point, since, again, I know Roz is the player that's most likely to win this game. He knows how to play his style very well. So, at this point, this is just mostly trading. And this is where it really sinks in that my upgrades are just falling behind significantly. I'm trying to catch up on upgrades now, but it's a little tilting, you know? when you once were first place by 20,000 and now you're falling behind in upgrades to the second place guy. And then Roz is equal to you in upgrades now too. So this is anybody's game at the moment. I'm definitely the weakest player at this point. Definitely the weakest player. I have lower supply than Green. Green has a second SCV and Marauders. Roz is much higher supply than me, and he has the 5 tanks. So I'm the weakest player by far. All I have is my 3x3 base and nothing else. But I'm not giving up. I'm determined to keep this game in check. So, yeah. At this point, it's just trading. That's all it is. And I see off the corner of my eye, I actually saw this in stream. I see Roz bringing these Marines and stimming them into green. And this tells me, oh no. Roz is trying to play for a 1v1 against green by feeding him to let him know that he wants to take him in the fight. And green, since he has 2 ACVs and a lot of supply, is probably going to take that deal and is probably going to lose horribly. So I need to weaken one of these guys right now. I need to cripple one of them. My first go-to is to weaken Roz, since green is the most likely to hit, since Roz is the guy trying to instigate this 1v1 between him and green. I want to weaken him, since green's probably going to hit whoever the hell he wants. Instead, green's going to hit me. And at this point, I'm thinking, I'm probably dead. They're probably going to finish me off, and then green's going to lose the game to Roz. That's what I'm thinking when I'm playing this game right now. Instead, greens comes off of me. And I realize I cannot do much of anything versus Roz at the moment. And green is just hitting me. I feel very trapped. At this point, it's very easy to feel tilted and just want to throw the game at this point, because you know that Pink's game plan does not include you, and green is probably gonna throw the game by finishing you off. So it's very easy to feel like, you want to throw the game or to feel tilted and everything. But I'm trying my best to just keep trying, just trying to keep my game plan going here of just keeping the balance of power, imbalanced enough that I'm still required by those two to be in this game. So I see that pink went to hit green, so now I'm going to hit green because I know I can definitely kill green. I can definitely cripple green here. And Ross decides the same thing. He has nothing. So, yep. I hit green because he is definitely the highest supply player, and he does still have 2 SCVs. So, that's a rally. There we go. My only play this game is to weaken green so that he has to hit Roz. Ideally, I want to finish Roz off and then just kill green myself. I get that bunker kill. Nice. But I really do need to weaken green here. Gonna rebuild my depots. I'm not gonna build a router tower. I'm not gonna build a router bunker since it's died so much. I'm not gonna bother building it. I'm just gonna go straight for my tanks. And I'm gonna be trying to farm green for money for tanks at this point, just to start rebuilding as much as I can. Because I've lost so much. All I have is 4 bunkers and 4 depots, which is almost nothing at this point in the game. So I'm gonna farm these turrets. I'm gonna farm the turrets of green. Yep, just farming green turrets right now, getting money for tanks. And I'm sending a couple units over there to see what's going on, but they get slowed by the routers. They get slowed by the routers and they get killed off. So, oh well. Let's speed up a tiny bit here since it's mostly just the same thing. That's me farming turrets off of green. And I scout. I see green still has those. Bunkers. So, yep. Just gonna keep farming, keep building tanks. That's it. I'm not gonna build marauders because they've died too many times. Just gonna stay on my 4 marine bunkers. That's it. Yep. Just us teaming against green. Just farming the turrets, farming the SCVs, trying to build more tanks. Seeing that pink has a bunch of supply, but I can't really do anything about it at the moment. I just need to weaken green a bit more. Yep, more tanks. I'm trying for 5 tanks since Marine Marauder 4 depots, you get 5 tanks. That is 5 tanks is more than enough for basically 90% of games. 5 tanks is more than enough. Unless you're trying to defend multiple sides, you only need 5 tanks on one side. Since any more than that, they will splash each other, and 5 tanks will one shot a tank. So that's what I'm trying for. Well, they will one shot a tank if you have structure damage upgrade. If you have this upgrade, armor piercing armor piercing cannons. If you don't have this upgrade, then I'm pretty sure you need 1 extra tank. It takes 1 extra shot to kill a to kill a tank. So yep, just gonna keep feeding, running away whenever a green tries to fight me because I can't really fight him. And then I get switched on. And again, I'm tilted since there's nothing I can do against this. I cannot fight him. I don't have the tank advantage. So just gonna keep my supply high. I'm gonna move my tanks to defend my 3rd bunker since I can't defend. I can't rebuild back from 2 bunkers again this game. I'm probably just gonna be way too behind at that point. I need at least my 3 bunkers up. So I'm keeping my tanks, and I get splash. Let's help defend. I'm gonna defend this bunker. I have splash, so we can't really fight into those 3 tanks. I'm gonna pull my tanks back, giving up that bunker since I have nothing else to do at this point. I can't do anything. I'm gonna regroup my army, have my tanks back in defensive wall, and have my units back in defensive position. So I'm back to 2 bunkers one more time, tilted out of my mind, just really upset at how this game is going, and that they're constantly weakening me, even though I'm easily the weakest player in this lobby by now, since I've been spending so much money just rebuilding my 3x3 square. So I see Roz is going for 3 router bunkers, and since we just weakened green, I'm going. We didn't even weaken green actually, but I'm still gonna hit Roz because at this point I need something to happen, and I see that he just has so much supply. So yeah, it's pretty much the extent of my reason at this point. At this point, I'm just yeah. Roz wants to take a 1v1, but he's weakened me so much that I cannot take this. I need to kill half his speech before I can actually take this 1v1 at this point, just because he's weakened me so much. So, yeah. And again, I'm trying to play around the tanks. There's nothing there, so I can't kill anything. So I need to play around a router bunker if I want to play around the tanks. It's mostly just letting green do a bunch of damage to Roz while I just sit there, effectively. Get the minerals. Set a unit to patrol the right side. since that's the only place I can use for mineral spawns at this point. And if I look at the upgrades, Roz has officially surpassed me. Actually, no, we're still. He has more attack, but I have way more armor than he has more attack than me, so I'm still slightly ahead in upgrades. But still, he just has so much supply that it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna rebuild my Marauder bunker at this point because I'm pretty confident they're not gonna kill it for the next foreseeable future because they both know I've taken so much damage and green is the obvious next target to hit in after a second. Unless they throw. So I see that, so I scout the left side and I see that Roz has lost all of his bunkers and depots there. And even though we can still completely wipe my army, I need to scout his full space here just to be sure that all he has left is that 3x3 and see how far expanded is he by the 3x3. So I split my army into 3, so no tanks are there. This is not a very good split. You'll see why in a second. That first group gets hit by the tank volley, second group gets annihilated by the tank volley, and then the third volley just kills the rest of them. So I see he does not have those 2 bottom marine bunkers. So I need to see if he has a. So I need to see. I see that he has a marine bunker over there. So now I know Ross has basically nothing, but he still somehow has more supply than me, just cause he's got just 4 depots. So yep, I'm gonna switch here. I see how weak Ross is. I'm gonna switch on a green, and I can't really fight green at this point, just cause he has better upgrades than me. So now I'm gonna push my tanks forward, cause I need to get money. I have almost no money. I need money. I need to trade efficiently against green. Gonna push my tank, my water bunker, try to get good trades here. Try to kill this water bunker here. I'll pull back my army because I see green's coming. I'm gonna push my tanks a bit more. Rebuild some depots. Push my tanks forward just tiny bits. And now I have enough coverage over the middle that now if green tries to fight me, I can just sit back and easily get that. So at this point, I just immediately assume, oh god, I'm being hit again. So I just see just a scout. So I put my tanks back, get the much money as I can from the scout, and so if you notice here, I on my camera is right here, building a depot, and a bunker. And my army was moving down. So green abused this and dumped on my tanks. So I lose a tank that I should not have lost. And I am beating myself up over this thinking, God, why did I lose those tanks? Because it's getting harder to rebuild this stuff. Because again, I've lost just so much money on just rebuilding this 3x3 base and rebuilding these tanks. I can't afford to lose much more than this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be too far behind at this point. So I sit for a second. I see that green is just absolutely massive. So I go for the bunker. Pull back when I see green coming there. Go for the bunker. When I see green leaves. Actually, no, I go for the turret first. Then I go for the bunker just for the free minerals. Bring on to half health. Pull back because I see green coming back. Then I go back for the bunker. And pull back. I'm not diving the bunker just yet. I'm slowly whittling it down, going in and out, bringing it down bit by bit, so that eventually I can just dive it all at once. You don't need to dive the bunker all at once here. You just very easily just whittle it down, back up, conserve your supply. Don't feed them too much money. Weaken the bunker, pull back. Weaken the bunker, pull back, until eventually the bunker's at half health and you have full supply. You dive the bunker and you kill it, and you get away with half your army still. So that was really well played by me. Just slowly whittling it down. I have enough money to upgrade the depot, get another tank now. And I'm slowly working on rebuilding my tank count. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. And if you notice, you see, if you notice right here, you see there are two big groups of units here. That's because green and light green are short control. They're going to do different army groups at once to try to defend both sides here. I didn't realize this until much later, actually. I think it's pretty neat. This is what you're supposed to do when trying to defend with just units is short controls your ally. But unfortunately, um, my army is big enough that I can very easily just overpower the other side unless they bring exactly half their army. Which, yeah. They're constantly forcing green to pull its main army back. I see pink is scouting. That's fine. Then it starts A moving, so I need a stutter in to just defend my bunker, get a bunch of free feed. And I do a little bit of upgrading. And at this point, I have now caught up in upgrades, and I have 4 more range in him. So I'm back to being competitive. Now. I have my 3x3 all fully squared out. My depots are almost all upgraded. I'm pushing my tank slightly to the forward. Push my tank slightly forward here. And I see they're both collapsing on me. I target my tanks onto the left side, to the middle of the left side group there, just to get as much damage as I can. I stutter into Slayer's group here, and I stutter into the bunker, which forces Green to pull his army back. And again, I'm just fast forwarding through this right now since it's just, same stuff. There's nothing really to talk about. I'm making the bunker down to half health, back off. I scout real quickly just to see how much he's rebuilt so far. I see that the tanks are not at home, meaning he's pushing the tanks. So, yep. Since I know he's pushing the tanks, that means I can go for the dive here. And I see, on the mini-map, I see flashing lights here. Now, I don't actually look to see what it is, but I see the flashing lights, which means the tanks are being attacked. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Both sides are going to be weakened by this. I don't want pink to get too weak though, since green is still a little too strong for me. But this is good. Turns out that pink was actually doing really well. It was actually holding by himself really well, but I didn't know that. So now I'm gonna finally start my 5th tank, and after that, I can actually start expanding now. I'm finally completed my 3x3 to its fullest extent. I realized its full potential. So, I see that dark green. So here's what I see. Dark green is diving a bunker. I see that he's killing the bunker. So I'm thinking, where the hell is Pink's army? Oh shit, did he lose his tanks? I'm going through a bunch of doomsday scenarios right now because I'm thinking, oh crap, did he lose his tanks? What's going on? So I'm thinking, time is of the essence. Pink is losing stuff. So I pull my tanks over to try to kill Pink, or try to kill Green, sorry. I cancel my tanks. I need that SCV. I need the money for turrets and to drop a second SCV, which I do here in a second. I siege my tanks up, trying to kill the bunker. Because I'm thinking, Green's winning full base trade. Time is of the essence. I don't know if Pink lost his tanks or not. So I'm trying to push as aggressively as I can. I see Pink is over there, but I realize, hey, wait a second. Green's almost dead. I can kill him right now, and I can try to win the game from here. But instead, I didn't see this. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap, and it turns out that Green had his tank sieged over here. So I see this, and I immediately pull back. I can't kill Green or else I lose the game. So, yeah, I have to pull back. He sees that I pull back because I'm dying, so he starts rebuilding. Yep. So I pull my tanks back through the right side since I'm trying to avoid Pink, and I'm keeping my units clear of the tank so they have a clear pathway down the right side. So, yep. And now we're back to fighting against Pink, except this time I have 4 tanks. And I have good upgrades again. So my tanks are all siege on the left side, and I see that he sieges tanks on the right side. So we're now in a stalemate. And I see that green is clearing my turrets out. Yep. So now I'm just sitting back. I'm going to try to get my tanks to a nice defensive line. I got 2 SCVs here. And now I'm just sitting back. Okay. So I see green is hitting my turrets. It's clearing my turrets from over there. I think that's fine, clearing my turrets, but then I worry, is he actually going to hit me? So I pull my units back, and I move my army in to defend against green, and unbeknownst to me, pink dives my tanks. What I do here is I unsiege both of these tanks. Reason why, their minimum attack range is right here for both of them. That is in splash radius of my tanks, especially since they do have splash damage. And you can see that my tanks, they're taking huge dips in health because of the tank splash. So I unsiege my tanks, but it's a bit too late. So I lose another tank. But I'm thinking it's fine. I still have 4 tanks. I can just instantly build my 5th tank. And this is a throw. This was a horrible play by me. I tried to return the favor, but pink had too much resupply and I lost too much of it, so I just fed a bunch of armor unnecessarily. And this is what I've been trying to avoid the game, is just I'm trying to avoid unnecessarily feeding his army. So instead, I go for a nice, even line, beautiful line of tanks. Reason why I go for a straight line is so they have coverage all around. And if you push tanks around here, I can just move this tank over here, this tank over here, then I got a beautiful concave. If I have my tanks sieged up over here in all one clump, they gotta move things from the back all the way to around, from the back all the way around. This way I just have more flexibility in moving my tanks around if he decides to push into me. Especially since green just sitting in middle doing nothing at the moment. So, yeah. That was you saw me wiggle there. That was not me intentionally wiggling. That was just me being bored and just clicking around. And then pink took that as the wiggle. But I'm not gonna take this obviously, since I would just lose if I take this. So I have my 5th tank ready. I decide I'm gonna build a water bunker. And what I should have done here is I should have built depots here. I have my 5 tanks. I'm not planning on building any more tanks. I should have built depots here. Just finalize the deal. No more tanks. I need a supply. That's what I should have done. And that's something that I encourage other people to do, is if you think the game is close to ending, then just build depots here, man. If you have more tanks than you're ever gonna want, just build depots. But the problem is that if I lose any of those tanks and I need to rebuild those tanks, I no longer have a spot to build those tanks. So that's the main issue. But in this game, knowing what happens next, I could have afforded to just build depots there. So I go for a quick scout. I see that pink is all the way over there, has more supply than me, has more bunkers than me, and is just bigger than me overall. So, thinking cool. I'm hitting pink. I want to kill pink. And I decide on my game plan is to weaken pink and kill him and then win the game. Since I have my 5 tanks, it's a very explosive battle tank fight. If I win the fight against the tanks and I kill all of his tanks, then I can win the game from there. I'm pretty confident in that. So for now, I'm just saving my money up. I'm thinking my goal is to push out and so to accomplish my game plan, I need to expand on this site, expand towards pink while I kill him. So to that end, I need to push my tanks up first to secure the position for my depots and bunkers. So I push the bottom two tanks first. I push the bottom first. Since the armies are mostly fighting in the middle, these tanks are the ones I want to have in case they get in case they try to snipe something. So I push the bottom tanks first. They're the ones that are not needed. I push them around the top side since pink is usually around the middle, just to defend everything. Then I push the bottom. Then I push the next three tanks. Then I pre-turrets, just in case he tries to fight me. I pre-turrets, just trying to be incredibly cautious here. Then I build a bunker. Alright, save up money first to build a bunker. I push my tanks forward a bit. And now I need to work on fixing my line here. In a tank fight like this, what you want is you want to have a spread of tanks, a spread of tanks that is constricting their movement so they cannot move because you have coverage everywhere. Now, the problem with having your tanks spread out is that if your opponent is smart, they can siege all your tanks in range of just one of them and use that numerical superiority to force winning fights against you. And because they have so many tanks, they're going to kill your tank before it can unsiege. So you have to leave it sieged up to deal damage, or you can just try to night vision if your army is superior against theirs. My army is not superior just yet, it's actually weaker. Or it's not weaker, but it's not overwhelmingly superior as I needed to. So, but because I'm going to go for a spread of tanks here, it's going to constrict Pink's movement. Pink does not have much in the way of options here. So I'm going to move my tank down the bottom side just to constrict his even more because I see he's repositioning his tanks. Yep. So I see the range is over here. I need to build depots here, so I'm going to move these tanks forward just a tiny bit, like that. Enough to build depot, which I'm going to do in a second. Oh, when I get the money, actually. I'm going to move this thing just a bit back since I feel like it was a bit too far forward. So I'm going to move it back just behind the bunker so that they have to move further to kill that tank. And I'm going to move my army on the top side. So if we look about the tank coverage, you can see that my tank coverage is all the way across the lane. I have tank coverage from here, all the way to here. I have tank coverage all along this area, so Ross can't do much, while his tank coverage is only over here. So I can just get free fights against Ross with my my weaker upgrades. But I can still get fights over here that I can do. Move my tank just a bit more forward. I want to build a depot. I see him moving, but you see, he can't do much because I have my tanks all spread over here, so we can't push him. Now he does have a nuke, so I'll push my tank forward just a tiny bit here. Just a bit out of range. And now, look at my positioning. My tanks are perfect, except for this one, it's going to be pushed just a bit more forward. Yeah, but I'm just a tiny bit back because it got tank splash damage. My tanks are in position here where they can easily siege onto these tanks, and you're just going to naturally have the numbers superiority because these two tanks have a range of right here, while these two have a range of right here. So I need to move. I just can just move these tanks right over here, and I'm gonna have easy superiority over the easy number superiority here. So, yep. I'm just getting ready. I want to merc these depots first before I go for the tank push. So I kill some of his army, which is what I'm looking for. I kill the water bunker, which is also what I'm looking for. And now I'm gonna go for the push. And if we see from his side, you can see, look at that. Great split here. Now he can only focus one tank at a time here. And these two tanks, by the time he killed that tank, he already lost two of his tanks. Now, I misplayed this part, very much so. What I should be doing in this fight is holding my army in a move position to try to keep these tanks alive. Instead, I go for the complete tank trade, just trading all the tanks out because I'm confident I can win this game without it. But what I should have done is have my army defending these two tanks. Ideally, the third two. I don't think I'm not able to defend the third two, but ideally defending these two tanks while using my SCVs to throw turrets behind the tanks so it can't run away and then focus the tank with the turrets. Instead, I lose 4 of my 5 tanks when I could have saved all 3 if I played this correctly. Instead, it's fine. I killed the tanks and I saw green was moving in the rally side. So I've identified the win condition here. And now I'm pushing my tank immediately. Gonna build out depots, pushing even harder. And I see green is over there. So I'm gonna cancel this marine bunker since I just saw pink is dead. Brawls has nothing left. So I'm gonna go straight for the mid bunker. Just trying to win this game. I'm gonna kill those depots. I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna kill that mid bunker. And I'm gonna go kill green's army. And my tank is going up the whole time. It's just going straight up. Because I need that tank in position to deal with the turrets. And also force the hand. Just trying to force this game to a close. So I'm gonna fast forward this a tiny bit here. So now I'm pushing. I'm trying to win this game now. I've decided this game. I have my win condition. I'm winning this game. I'm killing the bunkers from green. And I'm looking at my base, seeing what can I do, what can I do, what can I do? Mark the depot. More supply. Boom. Mark my bunkers. Boom. And now I'm just killing green's arm, killing green's base, trying to end this game. And I'm pretty confident now that I basically won this game. I see pink is fighting, trying to kill my bunkers. That's fine. I have 22 armor and 18 building regen. They're not dying anytime soon. So this is a misplay. Or actually, the most optimal thing for me to do would be to go back and wipe out green's army. He has no more resupply. If I wipe out green's army, that's it. I win the game. Instead, I decided to go for a full base trade, believing that I can very easily win this using the money I get from the bunkers to build more bunkers of my own. But the most optimal thing for me to do would have been to kill green's army and just go from there because they have no more resupply. Instead, I bring my SVs to the top, building bunkers on the top, going for the full base trade. And I kill the bunker over here. And the tank is focusing the turrets. I split my army into 3 to cancel all 3 bunkers here. I kill those. And I split my army up, but I decided to abandon it just to try. So I split my army to see any SVs over here, which I should have reached out of my area because then I would have seen it. So I see green's army over there. I see green's bunker over here, sorry. So I kill that. I build another bunker on the right side. I kill pink's bunker. I build another bunker over there, over here. And at this point, I'm just gonna make a full loop around to try to kill pink. If I can kill pink, then I won the game. So I see both of his SCVs are over here. I bring my SCV over here to try to kill him, which is really good because his army was right here. If he moved, he actually saw my bunker, but he couldn't. Yeah, he saw my bunker at the last second. So that's way closer than it had any right to be. I did not play this well at all. The way that I should have played this was when Green was on my mid bunker, kill Green's army, then pull back, finish Green's bunker, split my army up to cover a bunch of positions here, split like 10 units over here, and split 10 units over here, and just go from there. Or let go for the base trade, but then just after I kill these bunkers over here, leave 5 units here, and just go over here. Or just rush middle. Just ignore everything else, build 4 more mid bunkers, sit there until they're done, and then go from there. Instead, I go for an incredibly risky and incredibly risky maneuver for no real reason here. I had no reason to go for this maneuver. I see the rallies going from top right, so I know his bunker's over there. I see that he's moving to the left side, so I'm gonna kill the bunker here first. I'm gonna cancel my bunker. And I really should just kill his army. That's what I should be doing here. Just kill his army. He doesn't have anything else. Instead of going for another base trade here, killing his depots. So yeah, I sit back for a second, I kill half his army, and I try to find his last bunker. I cancel that. And then I just decide I'm gonna go for middle, since that's it. A quick thing to notice is that I thought that was my SCV at first. Actually, here, hold on a second. Yeah, I decided to go for middle here, just because I realized that's what I should have done from the beginning of the game. Just go for middle, because there's nothing they can do about it. So I thought this was my SCV at first, but I saw the direction it was coming from. It was coming from top left. So then I realized that's where the bunker is. It's top left. So I sit here for 2 seconds, and I go my army up, and I see the resupply, and I realize, yep, that is definitely where the bunker is. And then I go for the bunker, and then I end the game. So looking at this, looking at the replay, what I figured out is that, one, don't give up. Even though I was reduced to 2 bunkers multiple times, at least 4 times, I lost so much score from just rebuilding my 3x3 base constantly. I was never able to expand past my 3x3 for 90% of the game. All my tanks got killed multiple times. I lost so much stuff. But by playing smart, by keeping the power of balance off skew, by weakening one player over the other, and by targeting the right players, I was able, and also through that tank micro at the end there, by abusing green hitting, by waiting for the perfect moment to strike when pink was at its absolute weakness there, and going for the base shot at the end there, I was able to guarantee that I won the game. And even though it was a stressful game, it's still a win in the end. Yeah, that's it. Bye.